When people discuss iconic Porsches, the conversation usually revolves around the 911. However, one of the most underrated and innovative Porsches ever built was the 924, a model that went from a humble, underpowered entry-level sports car to a homologation special that's still revered by enthusiasts today. The transformation of the 924 into high-performance models like the 924 Turbo, Carrera GT, and the legendary Carrera GTS is a fascinating story of how Porsche's engineering brilliance turned a seemingly modest car into a formidable machine on track and on the street. So the story of the Porsche 924 begins in the early 1970s with Project 425, a collaboration between Porsche and VW designed to produce a shared sports car platform. Porsche had recently entered production of the 914 and VW wanted a flagship sports coupe to replace the outgoing model. The original plan was for VW to handle production and Porsche to supply design and engineering expertise. The 924 was to be powered by a VW-sourced 2-liter inline-4 engine, and the car was expected to be affordable and accessible. However, things didn't go exactly as planned. The 1973 oil crisis, along with new environmental regulations in the US, forced VW to refocus on more economical models like the Golf and the Scirocco, leaving Porsche to take over the entire 924 project. The decision was made to launch the 924 as a fully fledged Porsche, and it was built at Audi's factory north of Stuttgart. Despite the somewhat controversial VW engine under the hood, Porsche developed a sophisticated transaxle design that gave the 924 excellent weight distribution and handling. When the Porsche 924 was introduced in 1976, it was praised for its design but criticized for its lackluster performance. The original 2-liter VW Audi engine produced a modest 110 horsepower, which left many enthusiasts underwhelmed. In response to the critics, Porsche introduced the 924 Turbo in 1978, significantly improving the car's power and performance. Although the 924 Turbo used the same basic VW inline-4 engine, it underwent a thorough overhaul. Porsche hand-assembled the engines, adding components such as titanium-tipped spark plugs, a revised crankcase, and connecting rods, as well as a turbocharger from KK&K. These upgrades resulted in a substantial power increase, with the Porsche 924 delivering 170 horsepower, which was enough to satisfy performance enthusiasts who felt that the base model was just too slow. In 1979, Porsche took the 924 even further, unveiling the Carrera GT at the Frankfurt Auto Show. And yes, this was the Carrera GT, way before we got this. Anyways, the Carrera GT was developed as a homologation special for Porsche's Group 4 racing efforts, and it looked every bit the part of a race car. Wider fenders, a scooped hood, and enlarged rear spoiler gave the Carrera GT a far more aggressive and aerodynamic appearance than its predecessors. Beneath its menacing exterior, the Carrera GT received a host of performance upgrades. The turbocharged engine was enhanced with an intercooler and new forged pistons, which boosted output to 210 horsepower. This version of the 924 was capable of a 0 to 60 time of 6.5 seconds and a top speed of 150 miles per hour, figures that made it a serious contender in the performance car world at the time. The Carrera GT also featured suspension upgrades with stiffer springs, adjustable Bilstein shocks, and an optional limited slip differential, further improving its handling. But Porsche wasn't done pushing the limits of the 924's potential. You see, in 1981, they introduced the Carrera GTS, a lighter, more powerful version of the Carrera GT. The GTS featured new fixed headlights and a lightweight body that shed 130 pounds compared to the GT. Most importantly, the GTS packed a punch with its upgraded engine, now producing 245 horsepower. The car's weight-saving measures included Recaro bucket seats and a simplified interior, making it an even more track-focused machine. Now, for the most die-hard enthusiasts, Porsche offered an even more extreme version of the Carrera GTS, called the Club Sport. This version was stripped of any unnecessary accessories, had a roll cage installed, and was further lightened by another 134 pounds. The turbocharged engine in the Club Sport was cranked up to 280 horsepower, making it the most powerful 924 ever built. With only 59 GTS models produced, 15 of which were Club Sports, This version of the 924 became a true collector's item. But that's just the road cars. The most aggressive variant of the 924 was the Carrera GTR, which was developed specifically for endurance racing. With a powerful 375 horsepower turbo engine, the GTR was Porsche's weapon for the international competitions. Weighing in at just 930 kilograms, the GTR boasted an incredible power-to-weight ratio, allowing it to compete fiercely against other top-tier racing cars. One of the most significant achievements of the Carrera GTR came at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the most prestigious endurance races in the world. The GTR raced at Le Mans multiple times, including a factory-backed effort in 1980. It managed to finish at an impressive 6th overall and 3rd in its class, proving that the 924 platform was not just a baby Porsche, but a legitimate contender on the world stage. But Porsche didn't stop with the GTR. The company developed an even more advanced racing version, the Carrera GTP, for the 1981 24 Hour of Le Mans. This version of the 924 featured a 2.5-litre turbocharged engine that produced an astonishing 420 horsepower. The Carrera GTP was designed specifically to compete in the top-tier Group C category, where it would battle against some of the most advanced race cars of the time. In 1981, the Carrera GTP took to the Le Mans grid with 3 factory-ended cars, the number 2 car driven by Jurgen Barth, Walter Roll, and Manfred Scruti, finished at an impressive 7th overall and 1st in its class. This result further cemented the 924's racing credentials and demonstrated Porsche's ability to develop world-class race cars from its humble road-going models. But despite the 924's racing pedigree and high-performance iterations, it has often been overshadowed by the 911. The 924 Carrera GT and GTS models competed in prestigious events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, where they raced alongside more famous Porsche models. However, the 924 never quite escaped the stigma of its humble beginnings as an entry-level sports car with a VW engine. To end it off, today's enthusiasts have come to appreciate the 924 for what it truly is, a nimble, beautifully designed sports car with serious racing chops. The Carrera GT and GTS versions in particular are now considered among the most underrated Porsches of all time. These high-performance variants showcase Porsche's ability to transform an entry-level model into a world-class machine, one capable of holding its own on the racetrack and delivering thrills on the open road. But at the end of the video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video and what do you guys think of the Porsche 924. I have always liked the design of this car, but the power was a bit disappointing. But after doing the research for this video, I do think it is really cool that they just kept on making it better over the years. But yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys did like it, you'll most like most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else I like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers,